Since then, has become one half of the Chikara Tag Team Champions, as well as the Dragon Gate Open the Freedom Gate Challenge. I really screwed this up, Johnny. I'm so sorry. And he's also a job guy for a Funkasaurus. Please welcome to the show, Johnny Gargano.
To be fair, he wasn't the Funkasaurus yet. He was still Brodus Clay. So that's a different person, really, when you think about it. And there was also Joey Gray, my good friend Joey Gray, unfortunately. I let him borrow my gear, actually, for the match. He washed it and returned it. He didn't fare that well against Brodus Clay, but I think he did pretty good. I sent him a text message and said, nice job, so, you know. I mean, everyone's really respectful. Everyone's really cool. I really love it back there. I've been honored enough to be back there tons of times. The first time being when I was 19 years old, which is crazy when you really think about it. No, everyone's really cool, and luckily enough, I know some of the guys, so, you know, I get to see some old friends that I don't get to see that much anymore because they're in WWE and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's a fun time, and it's always an honor to be back there. I mean, to work for the top company in the world is everyone's dream and everyone's goal who steps foot in a professional wrestling ring. So to be able to do that and to be able to work for them every now and then since I was 19, it's a really cool thing, and it's something I take pride in every time they come here.
On your Wikipedia page, and we know how reliable those can be, it did say that you entered a wrestling ring for the first time at 8 years old. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, and Wikipedia is always the best place to go because anyone can write anything about anything. You know, you're getting the most pertinent knowledge and the best information around, and with Wikipedia, it's awesome. But that actually is true. That is 100% true. I first stepped foot in a professional wrestling when I was 8 years old. My dad knew I was a big fan of professional wrestling, and he owns a catering company with a huge parking lot. And a promotion around the area came up to him and was like, oh, we want to run shows in your back parking lot, an independent promotion. And he said yes, because he knew that I was a huge fan. He knew I loved professional wrestling. He knew it was something that I've always loved. He said yes, and they ran a show, and they let me get in the ring because I was the owner's son, and they showed me a few things, which, again, horribly unprofessional. When I look back, when I'm 44 years old now, looking back at it, a guy in the business now looking back at it, to let an 8-year-old kid in the ring, horribly unprofessional, not a very good idea, but luckily enough for me, it turned out okay. And I met a guy whose future go on to train me named JT Lightning. He trained me when I was 14 fully, and I started professional wrestling when I was 16. I had my first professional wrestling match at 16. So I've been doing this a while when you really think about it. It's crazy. I never had to wear a mask, but I did have awful gear. I had awful gear. I did awful moves. I had awful hand signs. I had awful everything. So that is kind of like a mask. I don't even want to look at any matches from my old age anymore. I can't watch anything. They just released that video on YouTube of my injury and everything, fighting back, and I can't even believe I had to look through some footage and stuff, and I didn't even want to watch the full match. I just clipped some of it, and I was like, I can't watch any of this footage when I was 16 or 17 or 18, even 19. I can't even watch footage of me when I was 23. So that's how weird I am with my own stuff. I'm very awkward with that. That was a very cool moment. It's a moment that I'll always remember because AIW was actually running the building I trained in, the building JT Lightning trained me in, the building that CFW used to train guys in, guys like M-Dog 20 Matt Cross, guys like Josh Prohibition. So I really grew up in that building. CAPW was a fixture of Cleveland wrestling for quite a long time. You bring up the words Cleveland All Pro Wrestling around here, and everyone knows what you're talking about. So to me, to be able to grow up in that building and for AIW to run that building again after such a long time, their first show there, I knew I had to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form. I felt it wouldn't be right if I wasn't there. Actually, if you look up on the ceiling, my name is actually on the ceiling. It says John Gargano up on the ceiling. I've always gone to that building since I was a very little kid. So I knew I had to be a part of it in some way, shape, or form, and I came out as a complete surprise. No one knew. When my music hit, they automatically started chanting "Clean Up Cleveland," which is a cool thing for me because I love Cleveland, Ohio. It's my home. It's where I've grown up. I'm very proud of it. And I'm not going to leave like LeBron James, even though I am going to Miami next week, but I'm coming back. I'm not taking my talents to South Beach. I'll take my talents there for maybe a few days, but I'm bringing them right back to Cleveland because I love Cleveland, Ohio. So to come out and for the crowd to give me such an enormous reaction, they were all shocked and they were all happy because, it was a really touch-and-go moment there for me. and for the fans for a while when it was so uncertain about my injury and what my future would hold. To come back maybe 2 months later and win the Gauntlet for Gold was a cool moment. People loved it, and it was something I'm really proud of. It's doing pretty well. I finished up physical therapy last week. I go and see my doctor again on Wednesday, so I'm just going to get checked out one more time before, I actually go and wrestle, because I want to make sure that he's not going to be like, oh, yeah, wait, you actually have a broken spine here, and, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing anything. So I'm making sure everything's in order before I go down there, so there isn't, like, some ginormous return, Johnny Gargano's back, and he steps in the ring, and he runs the ropes, and he's down again and dead. So hopefully that doesn't happen. I'm pretty confident that's not going to happen. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm able to do pretty decent in the gym. I'm pretty able to run on a treadmill again and do all this stuff again that I'm able to do before. And my whole goal was I wanted to come back better than ever. And I firmly believe it's going to take a little bit, but I'm going to come back better than ever. I say my back's at about 90% right now, which is a lot better than it was doing 2 months ago. So WrestleMania weekend, Miami was always my goal. It was always when I wanted to come back because I love WrestleMania weekend. It's an amazing opportunity for wrestling fans all across the world to maybe witness some new professional wrestling they haven't seen before. And I always wanted to come back this weekend. So I'm very excited to come back next weekend, and I'm ready to rock.